break down and the skin cells break down. And again, it can lead to a buildup of dead skin in the ear. But predominantly in elderly patients, it's just because then you're not producing these natural oils within the ear, and subsequently internal moisture within the ear canal rises to the surface and it evaporates. Whereas if you had these oils, it prevents the evaporation of these the internal moisture, and it keeps it within the deep layers of the skin. So I'm just working on the midsection here. You can see this patient's got some ulcerations of the skin. So when we say ulcerations, we just mean the breakdown of the structure of the skin. And that could be just because this blockage has been there for a while and it's created a bit of humidity and sweat, and the patient obviously has been wearing their hearing aid on top of that. Now, that's the patient's eardrum. You can see posteriorly the eardrum is severely retracted, and please do continue to watch, because not only this left ear but right ear, there's some interesting landmarks that I later freeze and annotate. But what's happened with this patient's eardrum, it's severely retracted posteriorly, and that's meant that skin that shedded from the eardrum has got trapped within the retraction. It can't migrate. So the outer layer is the eardrum's got 3 layers. The outermost layer is made up of the same skin that I'm peeling off right now. So it's the layer of epidermis skin. The middle layer is a layer of fibrous tissue, which gives the eardrum its strength and rigidity and flexibility. And the innermost layer of the eardrum is the mucosal membrane. So an example of a mucosal membrane is a skin that lines inside of our nose. So it's secretory, it's moist, and that makes up the 3rd innermost layer of the eardrum. So because the outer layer of the eardrum is made up of epidermis skin has got the property of dying and being replaced by another fresh layer of skin, and that dead layer of skin should, once it's shedded, it should naturally migrate away from the eardrum and slowly out of the ear until eventually it's completely out of the ear. But because of that retraction pocket, the skin is getting trapped, it's not migrating. So we're going to remove that. Now, it's more of a posterior retraction pocket. I'll explain why the eardrum gets retracted in a moment, but if the retraction pocket was more superiorly, so more upwards and to the back, so in the case of this left ear, we're talking northeast, if skin gets trapped there, it becomes a lot more dangerous because it can generally then form into a cholesteatoma. It's not that it's not possible that a cholesteatoma can form here, but it's far more likely to develop in the northeast region. And a cholesteatoma is essentially a buildup of dead, exfoliated skin cells that's got trapped because the eardrum sucked in, so it creates a retraction pocket. And this skin, in most people's ears, it should naturally migrate, but in an individual's where they've got a cholesteatoma, it fails to migrate because it's got trapped. The skin accumulates, it forms into a plug, and it can grow inwards and upwards towards the brain, and it can get infected, and it can be life-threatening, can lead to brain abscess, facial paralysis. It can erode all the middle ear bones and the middle ear structures and also the inner ear structures. So it's probably one of the biggest red flags as an audiologist when we examine the ears. It's one of the first things I look at, see if there's a retraction pocket in the top part of the eardrum in particular. If you wait until their right ear,